Day, my name is Aviosem and I chose financial literacy. Well, the first thing that comes to mind when I say finance is money, and that is basically what financial literacy is about. The ability to manage your finances. It is also the ability to comprehend financial concepts such as savings, debit orders, investments, and so forth. This is a great skill to acquire because the way you manage your finances shapes you and your lifestyle. If you have poor financial management skills, then you are more prone to debts, overspending your money, or even worse, you can be bankrupt. I acquired this type of literacy from a very tender age, even before I had a bank account and even before I knew what money was. I acquired this literacy from the love of money. Personally, I love money. I enjoy having money in my bank account. I love how liberating money is. Money creates opportunities. There are so many possibilities when you have money. Therefore, because of my love for money, I had to also learn how to earn it, how to spend it, how to manage it, and most importantly, I had to learn how to save and budget. Throughout my journey with financial literacy, my biggest challenge has always been saving money. For me, it was the idea of having money but not being able to spend it. Now that was my biggest challenge. I overcame this challenge by being more disciplined with how I spend my money and budgeting more, which means if I get money or when I get money, I plan it. I plan on what I'm going to buy and where my money is going. Throughout my journey of perfecting my literacy, my parents played a huge role in it. My father always encourages saving. As cliche as this may sound, saving money is actually good because you will always have money for those rainy days. He is also good at negotiating his way into a very good deal. He is definitely stricter and more disciplined with his finances. My mother, on the other side, is a total opposite of my father. She does not believe in saving at all. However, she is very good in budgeting. She knows how to plan and manage her finances really well. Although she is a big spender, she is a smart one. She is more lenient and less disciplined with her finances. I have the best of both worlds. I'm able to gauge which side I want, the stricter or the lenient, the more disciplined or the less disciplined. And I really do hope that I'm able to take some of the traits to my journey of financial.
Everyone, my name is Kutazo Mpahlile, and this is my narrative multimodal literacy. In this slide, I'll be talking about how I acquired my literacy. I always knew from a very young age that I was passionate about cooking. It all started when I was 6 years old. Yes, I would watch my aunt prepare meals every day. I knew from then that I was really passionate about cooking. Then, when I was 8 years old, I was then allowed to prepare a meal under supervision, and it turned out as a success. Challenges I encountered through my literacy journey were I was scared to tell on the stove. I was anxious about using knives. I was afraid of getting caught in burns. How I overcame those challenges were they taught me to keep a bit distance from the stove. I was taught how to hold the knife correctly. They also taught me the body safety, how to work with caution. The important role player in acquiring my literacy journey has to be my aunt. She always ensured that we plan meals together, and there's outlook forward in preparing them, and that always helped me.
The literacy I have chosen is driving literacy. What is driving? Driving is the ability to move and control a vehicle such as cars, trucks, motorcycles, and buses. However, the main purpose of driving is the ability to utilize a vehicle to take you from one place to another. It consists of shifting gears, controlling a steering wheel, and the ability to use the three pedals, which are the clutch, brake, and accelerator. Fun fact, driving offers an individual a sense of freedom and independence, and studies have shown that driving is able to boost a person's confidence. Challenges throughout my literacy journey. I would sometimes struggle to get the car moving after stopping at the robot, but after consistent practice, I was able to overcome this challenge by making sure I slowly release my clutch while balancing with accelerator. I failed my first learner's test. I was very disappointed and discouraged as I was so excited to start learning how to drive on the road, but I couldn't without the learners. I overcame this challenge by trying again. After my second attempt of getting my learners, I succeeded. On my first day of learning how to drive, I had to overcome my fears of being on the road. I was very nervous as there was other cars on the road. It took me a while to not feel the need to panic when a truck or bus would drive beside me or behind me. I learned the best way to not panic is to just focus on my own lane. Important role players. Driving has always been a huge desire of mine since a very young age. From watching Fast and Furious movies and seeing how well Vin Diesel is able to maneuver his car, that truly intrigued me. My mother. After failing my learner's test, my mother encouraged me to try again. She has been my greatest supporter throughout my literacy journey. My mother got her license at a young age, and that inspired me to do the same. My driving instructor. Whenever I was feeling nervous on the road, he always calmed me down. He was very patient with me, and he taught me well.
Education is about dance literacy. I'm going to talk about how I acquired this literacy and the journey through it. Practice makes perfect, but imperfections are your greatest motivation. I've been living with this code all my life. So, dance literacy involves understanding, expressing, and interpreting the message conveyed by the music you're dancing to. That display your knowledge and practice of dancing. It's not really about moving with the beat and music. Your moves and movements has to relate and correspond to the music. How you put your moves together, knowing and visualizing your next move before making the next one will make sense of your routine and flow. So moving on, I'm going to talk about the three domains of dance. These domains are what you have to go through before saying that you are dance literate. The first one is kinesthetic domain. This domain is where you learn to feel your next move, know what to do before doing it, learning moves and how to put your moves to use in your routine, exploring movements. The second domain is the critical domain. This is where you make something out of nothing. Communication with your body through music and movements. How you interpret the music and the display and connection of moves determine the effectiveness of the message you try to tell. Where you show your dance literacy. Choreographic domain. That's where you learn to combine your dance moves into a single routine. Understand the flow and connection between your moves. That connection makes your routine special. It doesn't necessarily be a choreographed. It doesn't have to be a choreographed routine. You can do freestyles. Yeah, some people do freestyles. I do freestyles most of the time. And then moving on, we're going to talk about the knowledge I acquired from this literacy. Dance actually taught me a lot of things. Well, some of them is actually patience, hard work, and discipline. I had to take my time through this learning process, make sure I get everything right. Be patient. I had to put in the work and time. I had a couple of falls, but still understood the great things take time. And sometimes smart work is the best work. Also maintain discipline because if you don't, then you can easily get frustrated and just stop with everything that you're doing. So with every passing moment I did what I was passionate with, now I use those aspects I learned to my everyday life. Every goal that I set for myself, I know that I have to be patient, work hard with discipline to achieve them. Those are the aspects I learned. Through this learning process, I've reached some obstacles that I had to go through. I mean, like every great thing in life, every goal that you have to achieve, there's always obstacle that you have to go through first. But the major challenge I experienced was me thinking I'm not good enough. My mind was holding me captive. The thought of me failing myself, being held up behind these negative thoughts, really did tear me up from the inside out and made me lose a bit of interest and passion towards dancing, which is what actually held me back all this time. I couldn't even like explore most of the options I had when it came to dancing because I thought I couldn't do it. And then it came a time where to realize that if you think you can't do something and if you think you can do something, you are both right. I used those negative thoughts and limitations to keep going. Every single time I thought I wasn't good enough, it gave me a reason to keep going, just to prove myself wrong and make myself proud in the process. Broke free from the mental prison I created for myself, the walls I've put in for myself. And then last, the role players in this journey I had, the journey I had to being dance literate. Firstly, we have Kida the Great. Started watching Kida's videos as motivation and also to learn some new moves. How this kid my age would dance like that. I was so interested in it, how he made everything look easy. So he's the one who played a huge role. By watching videos of him dancing, the moves he was doing, the choreographs behind every routine he did, every person he ever collaborated with, their dance routine would be so perfect. And then the second one is Blueprint. Blueprint took part in shaping how I view dance. His creativity alongside Taylor Peace and Jackson, the way they choreograph their routine as a trio is unbelievable. So the thought of having such creativity made me feel like I could be perfect and flawless. That is the end of my presentation. I do thank you for your time.
Diversity within our group. We do not speak the same language. We're not the same sex. Is that three females and one male? We come from completely different backgrounds. We have different goals and aspirations for our lives. We have different values and morals. These are all the differences we have as a group. You may be asking, so what kind of challenges did you guys face? Honestly, none. We all realized that we have differences, so we were able to accommodate one another. For example, with the linguistic difference, we then spoke English in order to accommodate one another. We were all mature enough to understand that the result of diversity is beauty. However, we did encounter some challenges in the beginning of our relationship as group members. We had poor communication, but I do believe that it was only natural since we did not know each other. So we overcame that challenge by communicating regularly and meeting in person and getting to know each other in depth. Now we've got companion in one another. We communicate effectively.